It's time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally, and Attilio Leonardi will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Well, hey, everybody, this is Attilio, and this is that art part of the show, Attilio's Random Thoughts. And I just think about all our listeners for 7 days in a row in between shows, 24 hours a day.
So thoughtful.
And I want to continue the conversation we were having on our last show, which is our personalities, our characteristics, our temperament, the same as throughout our entire lives.
That was not in our last show.
Yes, it was.
It was on our future show.
It was on our future show. Wait, I thought you said the one we just recorded is going to play this weekend. You just said that.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I
you
said
did.
it's next weekend.
So we're like the one we just played is going to play any.
Yes. So
we might have to redo this.
We need to start over.
Because you
I said this
we
show.
just recorded the show is going to play this weekend.
This show that we're recording now, listen, is playing this weekend.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Gotcha.
We got to start over.
Got to do over.
Start over.
I got to go back in the time machine and reverse.
The Team Lally Show was previously recorded.
It's time to enter the world of real estate in Oahu with Hawaii's only true real estate radio show, the Team Lally Real Estate Show. Grab a pen and get ready to take notes. For the next full hour, Hawaii's premier real estate leader, Adrienne Lally, and Attilio Leonardi will bring you the latest in real estate news and real-world strategies on how they can guarantee to sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, or they'll buy it. Now, here are your hosts, Adrienne and Attilio.
Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Well, hey, everybody, this is Attilio, and this is the art, Attilio's Random Thought. It's that time of the show where I bring to you something I've been thinking about the whole 7 days in between shows to bring to our listeners. It's a topic that's coming up beginning of this week, and it has to do with a guy named the governor.
Oh, is he going to visit our show again?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to visit the show this time, but I was talking with him the other day, and this is what he had to say. Just want to let you guys know that for you guys, you baboozes that no longer get the vaccination, we're going to make it kind of a little bit challenging for you to go out for eat dinner. So you're going to have to show your vaccination card, or you had one test recently. And same thing for working out.
Oh, you know what, though? The other, I heard that over on Maui, there's no test. It's like either you have the card or you don't. And there's no
in between.
No, it's one or the other. It's like if you don't have the card, then you're not coming in.
So
they're kind of a little more strict over on Maui.
You're gonna be like, oh, I like go eat Mama's Fish House. Oh, so sorry, no more vaccination. You know, it's a vaccination. Well, we know statistically, half of the people on Oahu, a little bit over half, are for it because that's the stats for who took it.
But then there's also the children that are unable to because they're not old enough.
Yeah.
So that they're part of the stats too.
We're talking about the people that can, and that's over a certain age, and you got two brain cells to rub together. So obviously, it's so weird because talk radio is mostly conservative, and mostly conservative talk radio is not about vaccinations. It's like, why you know what? I'm not going to do this because the government's telling me I have to. Okay, that makes the absolute most intelligent sense I've ever heard. Don't do something because the government's telling you to do that.
The government also tells us that we have to pay taxes.
I hope you're not one of those people that comes to an intersection and I'm proceeding through on a green light, and because the government's telling you to stop your vehicle with a red light, that you're not, I don't
You're just
hope I'm
gonna
not
ignore it.
at that intersection with the same knuckleheads that don't want to stop at a red light. So think about it, folks. Here's the only thing we're going to say from our standpoint. Do the research. Go listen to PhDs, doctors, immunologists, virologists, anybody with a just on the end of their name, and not Uncle Bobo on your Facebook or TikTok.
Or Instagram also.
Or any of that social media. Let's go through the
I would say even the news, because I don't really, like, where are these sources coming from? Like, get your sources like directly from the source.
Here's knucklehead statements, my favorites that I've heard. I don't want to put something foreign in my body.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, all you knuckleheads at McDonald's going through the drive-through when you eat a cheeseburger and fast food. What do you think that is that you're putting in your body?
I don't want to know.
Didn't you just read a book? Something like 83% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese
by 2030, and then I think that was from the CDC.
Yeah, I'm telling you, folks. The other stuff you put in your mouth, let alone have injected into your arm, is doing more damage to your body than a vaccination. And that both are scientifically proven. So do the research. Let's all come together. It's the difference between individual rights and societal rights. Individual rights say, I'm not going to do this, and I don't need to do it. Well, societal rights is our responsibility, our kuleana, our being pono to the rest of the people in our society, especially for the people that are at risk.
Mm-hmm.
I just had somebody that's a nurse in Queens Medical tell me that somebody passed away from COVID. This is not some conspiracy. This is not another episode of, what is that one with Fox Mulder?
Oh,
X-Files.
The X-Files.
You are not in a real life version of the X-Files, folks. Hello. It's a vaccination. So if you like eating out and don't want to go through the hassle of taking tests for the next 60 days, and you like working out in your gym, get vaccinated, get your card. It's not that difficult. I'm not asking anybody to do anything I haven't done myself. All right.
So let's talk real estate now.
Yeah.
While we're waiting for our call-in guests, if we have any this week.
Well, and this is the stuff that affects and threads its way into real estate, COVID, pandemics.
Yes, and being essential businesses and having, different ways of operating. So in our team, we are doing all of our meetings via Zoom.
Yeah.
So unless there's a really good reason, like maybe the client is elderly and doesn't have a computer, we're doing all of our consultations over Zoom.
Yeah, I would say 98% of our consultations were done in the office face-to-face. Now 98% of them are done over the Zoom, and very rarely are we doing them face-to-face. Will we do them face-to-face? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we got vaccinated. And we still wear our masks as a courtesy to the people, and we wash our hands and social distance. But I didn't get the vaccination for me. I got it for my dad. That's why I got vaccinated. So how is this?
I like to go out to eat
and
go to the gym.
Because you're not good at cooking.
I'm not.
She got vaccinated because she's not a good cook. That's a good reason. She likes to go out and eat. And so, how is this pandemic, vaccinations, how is this affecting housing costs? Well, that's obvious, not at all. Median sale price is $1,050,000.
It is. It's driving it up.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Driving it up.
Because people are staying home more. Interest rates are still low.
Yeah.
And inventory is still extremely low.
Well, speaking of vaccinations, we are looking for people to come onto our team. We need somebody, inside sales agent. What's an inside sales agent?
So it's kind of like a concierge, if you want to compare it to another role.
Concierge.
Yeah, and you're like the first person that the customers hear from.
Yeah.
And you make a connection and you are helpful and you do good listening. And then if they are in the position to buy or sell, then at that point you hand over the conversation to a buyer agent or our listing agent.
Well,
so you're
compensation wise, this role is a base salary, commissions. You can make agent level money. You get health insurance. The other option is coming on as an independent contractor, as an agent. You can make, unlimited income in that aspect, a little bit more freer schedule, no base pay, you're straight commission. So we're looking for both those positions. All you got to do is go to jointeamlally.com. And we also have our career nights. All you got to do is go to that same website and apply. But here is the change that we've made. Are we going to let people apply and or join our team who are not vaccinated?
Yeah, no.
Nope.
It's too much of a liability.
And we checked it out with the attorneys. We can actually make it a requirement. We checked it out with the labor attorneys and our human resources department. So if you're going to join Team Lally, you better bring your vaccination card. And if you're going to have one fake vaccination card, make sure you know how to spell Moderna. It's not Montana. I got my first shot in Idaho, and then I got my second shot in Montana. Okay? Okay, you bobos out there with the fake vaccination cards, you're like, not good.
Definitely won't get through our hiring process.
No.
So speaking of someone that is awesome, we've got Bradley Maruyama with Allstate Insurance with
Hey,
his
Bradley.
tip of the week.
Yes.
Hey, how's it going? So I got a client this morning that I did a review with, and it was really, really eye-opening because they actually live in Northern California. This is one of their rentals. And they said they got dropped by Nationwide this past week because of the wildfires that are going on.
Oh, wow.
And, they were so shocked. So during that process, she said, she reviewed her current policy now with another carrier. With what kinds of options they have now that the fire is so close. But one of her questions to me was she was reviewing her home in Kauai, was her flood insurance. She goes, Brad, cost of construction in Kauai is so high now.
Mm-hmm.
FEMA only gives you $250,000 for flood replacement. So I said, well, blank and blank, we do offer excess flood. So a lot of people don't realize that you can get more than $250,000 in excess flood insurance, and we do have carriers that can do it. But what interests me about this one lady is that she's not in a flood zone, but she says when it does rain hard, her house can flood. So my tip of the week is even if you're not sitting in a flood zone and it's not required by a lender, it would be a smart choice to give us a call and at least get a quote, see how much it would cost for flood insurance.
Yeah.
Because parts of Haina and Kuli'o'o that are not in a flood zone but fly right next to the mountainside, when it rains, those waters can get into your home. So it doesn't hurt to get a quote for flood insurance, even if you don't sit in a floodplain. And if you only have $250,000 in coverage, which is required by the lender, and your house is going to cost more than that to replace, call us up for an excess flood quote.
Well, especially with the cost of materials going up so much, you definitely got to take a look at that coverage.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely, we used to see $200 a foot for replacement costs, but in the most recent appraisals, we're seeing $230, $240 a foot. So it is starting to reflect on the appraisals that we've been seeing.
Yeah.
now, Bradley, I wanted to give you a quick shout out for your tip last week. It was super helpful.
Yeah.
And we did get some really good feedback.
Repeating.
Yeah,
it's worth
so-
repeating. Tell us again.
Yes. Well, we'll probably have you on one of our team meetings to talk more about how these.
You was talking about how you was offering us free in-office massages and catered lunch. No. What you was talking about,
the premiums going up,
the HO6 insurance on some buildings, like,
and even the newer buildings
going crazy high.
So
I've seen downtown Executive Center 100,000, Queen Lilio Kalani building in Waikiki 75,000, and then Anaha at 250,000. So it is starting to pick up. I think more and more AOALs are going to go that route.
So, and they're putting the burden of liability upon the condo owner versus the association because they're trying to minimize their insurance costs,
which minimizes the maintenance fee, but they still got to pay a higher HO6 fee. So it's they're
like
just shuffling the money.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were you seeing? Like, give us an example. Like, somebody was paying this amount, and now they got to pay this amount for that insurance.
So maybe about $218 a year.
Yeah.
Now looking close to $1,200 to $1,400 a year.
Oh,
because that building coverage will go from, let's just say, 10,000 to 100,000. So that jump in building coverage is what impacting the premium quite a
yeah,
bit.
yeah. So something to think about, that if you're in those condos, thinking about buying in those condos or thinking about selling,
Give us a call.
give us a call.
We got
so
the inside
can,
scoop on this whole HO6.
and we got solutions for your situation.
Mhm.
But
And it also seems like a lot of local carriers are not even touching those condos because they don't go up to 250,000. So
yeah,
we've been getting quite a bit of calls and inquiries on some of these properties.
yeah. So
Okay, so Bradley and his team can help.
you might want to reach out to them.
That's right. Well, thank you, Bradley.
Thank you, Bradley.
All right, so you can get a hold of Bradley and his team at 591-8016. You can also find them under our resource tab on Experts We Trust.
Yeah. So next up, we have the Bob Marley of the financial industry, because he is just so cool, just like Bob Marley. Every time we go to his office, he always greets us and he says, "Welcome to the islands, man." Anyway, we have Kyle from Impact Wealth Solutions.
You're so creative with your intros for Kyle.
I know. Growing up in Kauai, that was probably how we introduced a lot of people on that island.
Welcome to the islands, man. And so what you got for us this week, Kyle?
So DST info of the week, a lot of times we talk about, doing the exchange, and a DST is a place for people to replace their investment property and get a decent return income-wise, net cash-on-cash return that might even be better than they're receiving right now, net after all expenses. I know you guys talk a lot about, cost fees, maintenance going up, that eats into your net income after all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so a DST is a good place to, replace a property, get a slightly better and maybe even more stable income. Yeah, what I often don't talk about is the appreciation on those properties, right? A lot of times people buy for that reason specifically. And, this year, with some of the DST sponsors I work with, we're having a record amount of full cycle DSTs, meaning DSTs that people invested in maybe 3-5 years ago are now going full cycle, meaning they're selling the property. And now these investors have another decision point to maybe do another 1031 exchange. The average appreciation we've seen is between 30 and 50%.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So when you say full cycle, that's what you mean. When it hits 30 to 50%, that's when they turn around and sell.
Well, their target with the sponsors that we work with, their target is about 20% appreciation in addition to all the income along the way. Yet, just because I think real estate is so hot, average we've been seeing, at least 30 or 50. There was one, and this was an anomaly, 192% appreciation.
Wow. Was that legal?
So, yeah, total anomaly, so, another thing to consider when looking at using a DST in a 1031 exchange is not just the income along the way, yet the possible appreciation. And so another good problem people will have in the future is they have to do another exchange with an even higher amount.
Well,
those are good problems to have.
One of the favorite dances with wealthy, most favorite dance for the wealthy people is the Stinky Man. No, not that one. It was Swap Till You Drop. Was the most. Can you do it? Can you do a Dougie? No, it's Swap Till You Drop. And people don't realize, we don't know what we don't know. That's how a lot of people build wealth. You keep, you take something 20, 30, 40, 50%, exchange it into another thing, 20, 30, 40, 50%, keep going. I mean, you hit the jackpot with that one with 190%. Next, your $200,000 initial investment over the years is
$2 million.
Could be a couple million.
Or more.
Without any additional investment.
Then leave that to your beneficiaries and pay zero capital gain tax on that.
Well, the thing is, though, you need a smart team like Kyle and his team to help, strategize and get that plan together.
Yeah, and nothing's stopping you from going back into traditional real estate and back into a DST.
You can go back in and out.
Yeah.
To regular real estate, DST. You can 1031 and do part into the DST and part into, a building or a house, whatever. It's all, depends on what are your goals and priorities.
We're not just teaching you to mambo. We also teaching you to cha-cha-cha. Go back and forth. We're very versatile. Now, in the next show, I'm going to introduce you, Kyle, as a dance instructor of the financial world.
All right.
I thought you were going to go back to the reggae for a second.
Yeah. And so the DST 1031 exchanges, those are something that we have the experience with our partners, with ourselves. It's important that we as the realtors know what's going on too, because we're the part A and the part B.
And we're actually using these strategies personally, so they work.
They work.
Yep.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. All right, so you can get a hold of Kyle and his team at 348-2221. You can find out more information or even book an appointment with them on the resource tab on teamlally.com under Experts We Trust.
Next, we have an R&B artist. Her name is Nicki Minaj.
No,
not that Nicki. We have Nikki
Nakamura
from
American Floor and Home.
And she's going to be talking about our favorite things, our houses.
And remodeling.
Hi, Nikki. What you got for us this week?
So I wanted to go over that I noticed the biggest fear that people have is not knowing what their renovations or their flooring or anything that they're doing to their home looks like. So just wanted to go over that there are application software, even on American Floor and Home's website, where you can actually upload a picture to our website, and you can actually see what your flooring looks like.
Oh.
Before you actually go through with choosing your product, you can actually see the colors, how they mix in with your interior, if you have couches or what the painting looks like. Even with our designers, they will draft you up a design on what your kitchen and bath will look like.
Mm-hmm.
So have those tools, and even for commercial jobs, we've done for corridors where they had custom carpets made.
Mm-hmm.
We show them exactly what it would look like in their corridors or their lobby areas. So there's a lot of applications and technology now that you can use. Even on our regular manufacturer's website, you can actually go directly there to see pictures of inspiration rooms that you can change out the flooring to different types of flooring. So wanted to go over that as a tool for anybody wanting to know what their renovations, their remodels will look like. They even have applications that'll show you what different kitchen cabinets or countertops will look like as well.
And then what is this website that we can go to for this better visual picture of the remodel?
You can actually, for the American Floor and Home website, AmericanFloorandHome.com, we actually have a visualization, a Rumble tool, where we actually have generic pictures already in there. But if you go ahead and take a picture of the room that you wanted to change your flooring out, you can actually upload that picture to our website, and then you can change out the different flooring types of all of our in-stock products.
That is so cool.
That's so cool.
I love that. Yep.
Yeah, it's like you guys hired that Korean sample lady at Costco, and you put her in the computer because she's going, try some, buy some. So you guys get to check it out before you buy it. You can see how it visually looks.
I think that interior designers, they can visualize and they can see that, and that's part of their, their skill set and their, just how their brain works. But not everyone's brain works that way.
Yeah.
And by,
we gotta see it.
by being able to upload a picture of your actual space and seeing how that floor flows and looks with, your window treatments, your
complements things, other things in the room.
Yeah, I think that is super helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Taking the guesswork out of it.
Well, we spent all this money, and then you get it there and you're like, oh, wow, that wasn't what I expected, but too late.
But now it can be what you expected because you use the tool.
Yeah.
And you know exactly how it's going to look.
And it's completely COVID safe.
That's right.
You're just using their software. So.
Oh, it's completely free too. So there's no charges for it. So they're all good applications. Even coming to our designers to do your renovations or your remodels are, like our designs are actually completely free for you to see what it's going to look like.
Wow.
Awesome.
And so you can do that over the computer, or do you have to physically go in to get that started?
So first thing this morning, you can just be at your computer on Shop at Home. Client advisors that actually come to our customers' homes will actually use that on their iPad. So we'll take a picture of the customer's home, upload it into our website, and then they can see the different types of flooring. So it's a mobile showroom for them as well.
Nice.
That is so convenient.
Yeah.
And
it's super convenient. For modeling, you do need to come in because we actually need to take a measure of your house first, and then we'll put it into applications. The designers will put together the kitchen, the cabinets, and exactly what the measurements were in your home, so you can get a complete detail of what it'll look like.
I think people will be appreciative of that, especially I think there is a growing trend of people spending more on their homes because of the pandemic. We're in our homes more.
We have more equity in our home.
Yes.
We can pull our little HELOCs and use them for home renovations and make our home more, comfortable and our own style.
For those of us after September 13th who are not vaccinated and cannot go out to eat, they gotta need a renovated kitchen.
That's right.
So they got
And Nikki and her team can help.
Yeah.
So give them a call.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Nikki. All right, so you can get a hold of Nikki and her team at 348-2221. You can also find them on the resource hub on Experts We Trust, and that is American Floor and Home.
All right. So, hey, we're about to take a break, so stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Daniel Roselle of the Hawaiian Humane Society. We'll be talking about the Hawaiian Humane Society's foster care program and how you can help and get involved.
So stay with us.
This is Scotty B from News Radio 830 KHVH. Well, with low interest rates, you're able to buy more home for the money, but it's also a great time to sell, even if it's not your primary residence. Maybe it's an investment property. Do what Brent and Dianetto did. They had some problems over the years trying to sell an investment home in Ka'ava, but disappointment after disappointment, so they decided to try Team Lally, and Team Lally's superior marketing found the perfect buyer within 2 weeks and sold for an amazing $825,000. So even if you're thinking of selling a rental property, now is the perfect time. Call Team Lally. And by the way, if you need to get out of the contract because something happens in your life, they'll let you out of that contract at any time. The phone number is 799-9596. You can log on to teamlally.com, or even easier, just Google Team Lally. That's Team Lally.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Hawaii, I would hire Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Their marketing strategy is so effective that if your home doesn't sell on terms you agree to, Team Lally will buy it. Partner with the team I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Hey, Buck, as a real estate investor, if you were going to buy or sell property in Hawaii, what's the first thing you do?
That's an easy call. Call Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. They've always guaranteed to sell your home or they will buy it. I love that confidence and the marketing that backs it up.
You aren't alone. Sean Hannity, Colin Cowherd, Scotty B, and Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank all agree with us. Team Lally are the agents we trust, and that trust is well-founded. They're selling homes for up to $70,000 over asking. What would you do with an extra $70,000?
How much time do you have? I mean, I've got a long list. Do yourself a favor. Check out all the reviews and see why thousands trust Team Lally. Google Team Lally, or if you want immediate answers, give them a call at 799-9596.
And don't forget to check out the Team Lally Real Estate Show right here every Saturday morning at 10. Get the best advice from Team Lally.
Hey, it's your friend Sean Hannity, and as you know, I am not afraid to be honest and say exactly what I feel. When it comes to selling your home, you need to know There are real estate agents out there that just rely on yard signs, and a few $100s of marketing. I'm going to make this very easy for you and tell you about a team of real estate agents whose marketing plan is in a whole different league than anyone else you will talk to. I'm talking about Adrian Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now, Adrian and Attilio spend thousands of dollars every month and attract hundreds of buyers every week. Now, because of that, if they can't sell your home at a price and deadline that you agree to, they will buy your home. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Team Lally in Hawaii. And if I needed to sell a home in Hawaii, well, I would call Team Lally. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com. And consider your home sold.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
I'm also vaccinated. Our guest today is the director of the community relations at the Hawaiian Humane Society. He has a bachelor's degree in history from UC Berkeley, a master's degree in education from California State University, and has worked in communications in Hawaii and the Bay Area.
Since 1942, the Hawaiian Humane Society's busy shelter in the heart of Molili has become a community hub for animal lovers, featuring programs and services focused on strengthening the human-animal bond. Please welcome our guest today, Daniel Roselle.
Daniel Roselle.
Yes.
Hey,
hello.
Thanks for having me back.
Yes. Well, welcome back.
And one little do-over on that is Mo'ili. In case we get the Hawaiians calling in. What? Where's Molili? I don't know where Molili is. Oh, it's right next to Mo'ili. So.
Well, and you guys are opening up another location. I think, what is it, out in Kapolei, right? Or Ava Beach?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we actually did a blessing on the 5th of May, and we cleared the land, and we're looking at probably about 18 months worth of construction on a big 5-acre property. It's going to have a dog park. It's going to have adoption runs, adoption areas for cats and dogs, and classrooms, and a veterinary clinic. It's going to be really important resource there for the growing community out in West Oahu.
Oh, wow.
So with this veterinary clinic, is that open for anybody to come in and visit and bring their pets there, or is it just for the ones that are there at the Humane Society?
Well, primarily it's like the one we have here in Moilili, which is focused on shelter animals or animals that come into our shelter, but what it will be available for the public are the spay-neuter. Mm-hmm. So we have a spay-neuter clinic here, and we're going to have a second one over there. And also, folks who do free-roaming cat spay-neuter. So, instead of having to drive, 2 hours or sit in traffic, folks can get their pets or cats that they care for spay-neutered over at that location as well.
So what you're referencing is what the catch and release program for the colonies.
Well, yeah. Correct. It's a trap, neuter, release, but then the last word is manage, right? So we, these people who do that continue to look after them and make sure they're cared for. And it's kind of an approach that, if done correctly, which means a whole bunch of spay neuter or a whole bunch of management, it should help over time to lower the population of free roaming cats on Oahu in a humane way, right? By just reducing the number of cats born.
Yeah.
So we're having you back to talk about all these exciting things that are happening with the Hawaiian Humane Society, and then just to bring more awareness to the foster program, which I just learned is kind of unique to Hawaii. So let's talk about that program, and how did you guys come up with it?
Well, so there's that saying that is fostering saves lives. And it's really, really true in our case, especially. And I think we talked about this last time. In the early days of the pandemic, we had no idea, what was going to happen if a lot of people were going to start abandoning or surrendering animals. So we put out an emergency foster program and just asked for volunteers to come in and help. And we ended up having, our emails were jammed, our phone lines were jammed with people across the island volunteering to emergency foster. And normally our foster program is focused on, really small animals that need to grow up until they're big enough, gain some weight until they're big enough to get spay-neutered and then go for adoption. Or let's say they're recovering from a surgery or they're ill. But this one was just about animals that are ready for adoption, but we didn't know how many we were going to get in.
Yeah.
So that was a great program. It was in 2020, but what that did is it really kick-started our fostering here, right? So we tripled the size of our fostering staff team, right? Because you need people to answer the phones, to send out the animals, and homes, right? Yeah. And then we did online orientation, which of course in this continuing pandemic is the way to go. And we do this almost contactless kind of pick up the litter of kittens, take it to your home, foster it, bring it back for a checkup. And we've also started to do with much younger kittens, neonatal kittens, when they come in. It's a very specialized type of fostering because, it requires a lot more attention, continuing, every 2 to 4 hours, bottle feeding and stuff. But we've been doing that for a few months and we're seeing a lot of success in that. So our fostering program is going gangbusters, and that gives those animals a chance to get strong and to be ready to come back and go for adoption. So,
do you guys have more foster families than there are pets to be fostered out?
I think it varies. Okay. I'm trying to think of the number, but at any, people, it fluctuates, right? And we have, as you probably know, kitten season, right? So you have this spike starting in maybe April, May, that goes through to October. But we're really, really grateful, and also really we've seen a dramatic increase in people fostering. But I can tell you this, we always could need more, right? Because even if there's not an animal ready, the moment you're ready to foster, we can pick up that call and be like, hey, we just got a litter of puppies in. Are you ready, right? Mm-hmm. And different homes have different capabilities, right? Some folks can maybe foster a couple kittens in their bathroom, and then other folks have a yard for a mom, yard and a safe place for a mom with a litter of puppies, for instance.
Yeah. Adrian,
so we're always...
Yeah, and Adrian's participated. What's been your experience, Adrian?
So I've done it 3 times so far, and getting ready to bring back the mama kitty and her 5 babies. So this was the first time, I was actually able to foster the mama with the babies, because the babies were maybe a week or 2 old. So they start off as little blobs, and I watched them learn to walk. And, so I was grateful that mama kitty was there, because she did a great job of caring for her babies. And now they're all big enough to go through their surgery and be adopted. And, it's just been really cool to watch them progress through the different stages. And I've even gotten a couple of them pre-adopted out to friends and family that just came
over to visit.
Yes, they came over for their kitten time.
Yeah.
So it is definitely a rewarding program and fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, and being able to watch a mom, we don't often get an opportunity to watch an animal raise their, up to the point where they're ready to kind of go out on their own. That must have been quite an experience.
Yeah.
Because I've fostered a lot of kittens, but they were always a little bit older and without a parent. So that's quite an experience, I imagine.
Yes, and I would encourage any of our listeners to reach out and take this Zoom training. And you don't always have to be fostering. I will, take a break for a month or 2, and then I'm okay, I'm ready to lose my bathroom again in my closet. So.
Right? What is it they say? All you need is a bathroom or a closet.
Yeah, and the little kittens, they love my closet. They climb up my dresses and skirts, and they're in the shoes, and it's like an obstacle course for them.
Yeah,
they have so much fun.
Well, on behalf of the Hawaiian Humane Society, I want to thank you, because it really is people like you and people who volunteer and foster that literally means the difference between these animals being healthy enough to where they can get into adoption, right? Because it's the homes, it's individual people's homes that are the best environment, especially for the younger and the weak ones. As long as they're scaffolded with good veterinary care, that's the best way to do it. So, a lot of thank you very much.
Well, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and I hope that people that are listening will also sign up and be of service.
Yeah.
Because it is definitely
and we make
rewarding.
it easy, right?
Very easy.
We make it easy. We give the kits and everything.
The food, everything is provided.
Now, the online training, that was an adaptation for COVID. Are you guys going to keep going with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, that's one of the things that I'm sure we're not the only ones in this. And obviously, there are a lot of negatives that came from COVID. Yeah. But one of the things that gave us the opportunity to really think about best ways of making it easier for people to participate, right? Yeah. And kind of clear out some of the old ways of doing things that, you know, weren't necessarily, there's, you know, modern technology that allows people to easily take the orientation to a Zoom call or whatever and sign up. So there's a lot of things like that we're keeping. So a lot of things have happened, I think, with us and for us as a result of the pandemic that have in many ways opened us up more as an organization, and shifted. I don't know if I talked about last time about like our food bank and we have this Pet Kokua program. Yeah. And you know, if do you have a couple minutes?
No, tell us about Pet Kokua.
So, you know what? Pet Kokua. So, you know, we were really worried, especially as people started losing their jobs at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's been a financial challenge, you know, for people, and it's ebbed and flowed. But we're concerned. We think animals need to be with their families, right? That's the love, that human-animal bond. And just because you may not have the biggest yard for the dog to run around in, and in some cases you may not even have a home, but if there's that bond, we want to preserve it. So Pet Kokua is a program that we set up kind of like around May of last year, and really to focus on helping low-income and no-income people take care of their pets. So that we opened up a second location for our food bank in the Filipino Community Center, and we have, you know, events where we go out to shelters, we go out to under the bridges, we're going out to the beaches, and we're meeting with the people and we're giving them pet food. We're doing vaccinations for their animals. We're doing microchipping. We're doing, you know, flea tick. We're giving them leashes and collars, and of course, pet food. We gave out 66,000 pounds of pet food last year, and all these, and this is, you know, all this stuff comes from donations from the community to us, and then we're able to channel it back out. You know, and people will often, you know, a lot of the questions is, well, you're helping people who don't have. Sometimes you're helping people who, for example, have a dog and they live under a bridge. Yes. But those animals are sometimes the best connection these people have, right? They're grounding, they're family, and there's so often these people will move heaven and earth to take care of their animals. And sometimes these people are out living in a tent because they can't find a home that allows them to keep their dogs, for instance, for, you know, a price they can afford. So this, you know, as we started thinking about this at the beginning of the pandemic, it opened up our hearts and our eyes to really try to help these people. And because they're us, they're our neighbors, and some of us are, you know, maybe not that far away from needing the help ourselves. And we've been so rewarded by, you know, in fact, the city actually gave us a grant that we're going to start in October for District 9, where we're going to really be able to sort of pilot doing more intensive outreach and support for people who need it, including some veterinary care and some extra wellness care for these animals.
So if any of our listeners want to contribute, how do we get those donations? Like, is there drop-off sites, or how does that work?
Yeah, they bring that truckload of pet food too.
Well, an easy way they can start is I'm lucky because my team is very much involved with this. They can reach out to me, and my name is Daniel Roselle. They can, call our info line, or they can, send me an email at droselle@hawaiianhumane.org. But it depends on the donation. So there's an organization called the Pantry, which is nonprofit. The Pantry Feeding Hawaii Together. Last week they gave us 9 pallets of pet food donations. Wow. So that's dog food and cat food. They just called us up and were like, "Can we drop it off?" And we said, "Yes. When can we meet you?" And so this comes into our location, and we turn around, we put it in vans, and we go out and do outreach out in the community and get it to people. So there are so many ways to help. It's not just bags of pet food. It can be monetary. We have veterinarians who volunteer to go on our wellness clinics, right? Yeah. So we go to Sand Island and we announce it. We're going to do
you guys,
next week.
you guys take cash?
Yeah.
You guys take cash?
We do. we do take cash as well. Yeah. Absolutely. This is part of our work is supported, obviously by a city. We do have a contract with the city, but it's a small portion of the broader work that we do. And I would just direct people, because there's so many ways people can give, to our website, hawaiianhumane.org. And at the top bar, it says ways to give. And then there's a whole list, including if you're an Amazon shopper, easy way. Oh my God, look, they need litter boxes. Okay, boom, wish list. Or, donate with cash, or obviously pet food, donate a vehicle. There's a whole bunch of ways to do it that works for everybody. I have my next door neighbor up here in Kaimuki. I've come back home and there'll be these massive bags of dog food on my doorstep. Because he's a great guy and he knows that I work with the pet food bank, and sometimes it's just like, so there's just so many ways.
I would say too, because when I was coming to pick up the mama and her babies, the lady who had helped, she had mentioned all of the towels that you guys go through.
Oh yeah.
And we have a client who is who's relocating, and he was complaining about all of these extra towels that they had. And I said, perfect, I will take them. And when I drop off mama and her babies, I'm going to make a big donation of all these extra towels that you guys have.
Oh, yes. But your timing is perfect. Only a couple days ago, we put up a little call out asking for people to donate towels if they can, if we're running low. Just throw those towels in the washer, dry them, and back them out here, take them.
The whole back of my SUV is filled with towels. So
you're amazing.
They're coming.
Yeah, and these towels, these are the towels that the animals are cradled in after surgery, or if they're puppies and we can't put them down on the ground until they got their shots. Like, they're so useful on so many levels. And who would have think that just donating your towels can really make a difference? So thank you.
Of course.
So how many, on any given day, how many pets do you have available for adoption? Roughly.
That's a good question. I will tell you, cats, we always have a lot of cats.
Yeah.
Probably a couple hundred at any given time. And I should point out that, we have our one location here in Moiliili, our campus, but we also have partners across the island where you can adopt cats from. So there's a Hawaii Cat Cafe in Kapahulu. There's the Aloha Kitty Cafe in Kailua. There's Pounce in Kaka'ako. And of course, there's the Pet Coast. So we have reach, right? You don't have to come all the way out here to do it. And, dogs, actually, interestingly enough, it varies with dogs because there's been, I'm sure you've heard, a pretty high demand for adopting dogs. Dogs and cats. But I think a lot of people have really jumped and adopted dogs. So where we were worried that we'd have so many dogs that we'd struggle to find them homes, because for here, animals can stay as long as they need to find a home. There's no time limit. But I'm looking right now, and we have 12 dogs available for adoption right now.
Yeah.
But, there are days when I go back and I look and I'm like, oh, wow, at the end of the day, 3 dogs. So we're super grateful to the community because there's lots of adoptions of both dogs and cats. But of course, cats, there's always lots of cats.
So, Daniel, I have a question on injured animals. So one of our team members had found a very small puppy that had been injured and abandoned on the side of the road. If someone comes across an injured animal and not microchipped, what would be your suggestion as far as how the Humane Society can help and caring for that animal?
Right. So that's a wonderful question, and it's really important to us. So one of the things, the last few years, we've so dramatically increased the number of lives that we're saving, right? And there's a lot of ways that happens, but one of them is just a lot better medical care, right? And we're increasing our ability to do more and more complex veterinary care, things like we're getting in a big x-ray machine. So before we'd have to send an animal with, say, a broken leg out, but now we're going to do the x-rays here, right? So we will move heaven and earth to help an animal. As we assume, if we can't identify the owner and it's not microchipped, then we assume ownership of the animal. We're going to do whatever we can to help that animal make it through to the adoption floor, right? So let's use an example that is a tough one, but it happens, and let's say it's a broken leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's a broken leg that cannot be repaired but can be amputated. Guess what? Amputated animals get adopted all the time and find amazing homes, and we will do that surgery here for it, right? So I think it's important for me to share that if people have concerns about an animal that's injured, obviously some people decide that they want to help with a private vet or something, but we are here to receive these animals and help them and provide the surgery, provide the care, that's needed as much as possible to get them to adoption.
And then the foster care program, I think, helps to support those animals that are recovering versus putting that extra workload on, the employees.
They probably recover faster and are more resilient in a home than down at the Humane Society. Not that you guys are doing anything different. Yeah.
There's just more space
more
and
attention.
less stress.
Yeah. And it's
quiet.
And it's funny. Sometimes we say to ourselves, it's unrealistic goal just because of how the world is, but our goal is to make ourselves eventually not needed, right?
Sure.
We want every animal to have a home. And if we can find a way, we know you try to make the shelter as supportive environment, as caring as environment as possible. But think about the difference between a dog recovering on your couch sitting next to you, right? And a dog recovering in a place with a lot of other barking dogs and stress. There's no comparison. And that's why we
sipping Mai Tais, the dog. No bonbons though. No chocolate or anything.
Totally.
Some pet biscuits.
Yeah. So
just chilling.
Yeah. And love, like lots of continuous love, right? And attention. And so that's why for us, fostering is just so critical to the health and the life and the recovery. Yeah.
If our show goes another 30 years, we'll be interviewing you and be like, my name is Daniel, and back in 2021, we used to have so many pets, and now we're just running this foster program.
Well, and then they're opening their other location as well. And so there's going to be more
5
programs.
acres. That's huge.
Yeah, so more outreach.
Yep. Oh, it's going to be amazing. Like, I have so many dreams for that place. So even just something as simple as, we have staff that commute all the way from the west side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wonderful for our staff. They'll be able to, work there, the ones that live nearby. We'll be able to hire people from the communities, have educational programs, even like maybe summer camp type things. Of course, a dog park, resources, big parking lot, which we don't have here in Moili.
Yeah.
Quicker to get. I mean, the thought of driving 2 hours round trip to recover a dog that was lost that we got a hold of.
It's no fun.
Oh, yeah.
I do it all the time for the foster checkups and the pickups. And it's like you really have to be strategic about the time that you plan to do it. Otherwise, you get hit with traffic, and then it could take twice the amount of time.
Gilligan's Island, it's a 3-hour tour.
That's right, from Eva Beach.
It really is.
I'm very excited for your new location. Yes.
Well, we can't wait to welcome you. It's going to be really, really something special, and we're grateful to the community for welcoming us. And I think everybody is going to really enjoy the facility too. It's going to be quite something.
Well, if we don't have you on before, then for sure for that grand opening and promoting it to people, but. The foster program, a lot of people didn't know about it. Now, hopefully, we're getting the word out.
You are.
Yeah,
you are.
Again, the foster program, you can have the kittens over there and have your own cat therapy going on.
Yes, your own cat cafe in your bathroom.
In your own bathroom, cat cafe. Cat cafe in Eva Beach.
Animals, we give them a lot, but honestly, it's no joke. They do so much for us. They comfort us and lower our blood pressure and stuff. And we are huge benefits.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't fostered before, there's the endorsement here, right? Give it a shot.
Well, at least you can Miller Lite your pet ownership. You can try it out.
You can test it out and see if it's for you.
And all of that.
Totally.
So. But all right.
It happens. People foster fail, right?
Yes. But
it is hard giving those cute little babies back.
Yeah.
But I do know that they're going to find some excellent families, and They'll have so
They
much
do.
fun.
Yes, there was a spider
Thank you.
in her closet, and it was a message. It was like, "Don't send them." Oh wait, no, that was Charlotte's Web. Never mind, wrong show. Anyway, so Daniel, thanks so much for being on the show. What's the number and the website again?
Hold on, I should know.
We got
this, obviously.
We have HawaiianHumane.org.
HawaiianHumane.org.
Yep.
Yeah.
HawaiianHumane.org, and then to contact us is
It's okay.
808-356-2200.
Awesome.
356-2200.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for being on
Daniel.
the show, Daniel. All right. That was Daniel from the Hawaii Humane Society.
Sign up and be a foster.
Be a foster kid. You know what's cool is you can have the kittens when they're young and
They're so cute.
they smell nice and
They're just
you can snuggle
adorable.
with them.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you to our sponsors.
Jody Tonga and Derek Tonga, Pacific Rim Mortgage.
Bradley Mariama of Allstate Insurance.
Benji Vendetta, Pillar to Post Home Inspections.
John Speed of Kilauea Pest Control.
Duke Kim Han, Hawaii Pacific Property Management.
Kyle Shimoda of Impact Wealth Solutions.
Robinson Villavere of Fine Line Paintworks.
James Santiago of Kaji Cleaning.
Nikki Nakamura of American Floor and Home.
Jake Kisak of Skyta Roofing and Solar.
And Broderick Sherwood of Zero Res. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Chaz, our producer here in the studio.
Yee-hoo.
Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life.
Forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the guaranteed
Sold program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price in our time frame, we'll have it popped for cash. Thanks and aloha.
Shoots.